think that God cares so deeply about an unborn baby in the womb that's only 8 weeks old? How much more do you think He cares about the immigrants that ICE is terrorizing that are already alive? How much more do you think He cares about Renee Good, who was just trying to help her community? How much more do you think He cares about her wife that had to witness her wife getting murdered by ICE? How much more do you think He cares about her son that is now an orphan? How much more does He care about Keith Porter, a black man who was shot by ICE when he was only celebrating the new year? How much more do you think He cares about the immigrants and U.S. citizens that are in these detention camps that are being physically abused, in inhumane living conditions, and even getting sexually assaulted? How much more do you think that God cares about the Palestinians that are being ethnically cleansed by Israel? And I'm not saying that God doesn't care about unborn babies in the womb, right? But some Christians, it seems like they only care about the unborn and they don't care about people that are already alive today that need our help, right? So this weekend, I went to this Catholic young adult meetup, and then at the end, the one guy's adding all of us to this group chat on WhatsApp so that we can be aware of the upcoming events. And then someone's like, oh, like, I don't use WhatsApp because they support abortion, they're pro-choice, and like, I just can't support that, right? And so I don't know about this lady's views on immigration or ICE, right? Because it didn't come up for conversation, and I didn't ask, even though I kind of wanted to have a debate with her about this, right? But then I felt like then I would have to reveal the fact that I had an abortion in 2020. This was literally before I became a Christian. And I don't know, the way that she was acting, it kind of made me feel a little bit bad about myself. So I kind of just let it go, right? But I feel like Catholics usually do support immigrants. But anyways, that just made me think about white evangelical Christians and how they care so deeply about fighting for the unborn and for being anti-gay and anti-trans, but not caring about other suffering that happens in the world to people that are already alive. So if you think that God cares so much about the unborn and you are so, pro-life and all that stuff, you have to ask yourself, how much more do you think that God cares about people that are already alive today, the immigrants that are already alive today? And as an aside, as an aspiring Catholic, because I still need to get my sacraments, I still want to be pro-choice because I think that having laws that ban abortion just hurts women in general, because even if somebody actually wants to have their baby, right, then if their baby, God forbid, dies in their womb, then if they want to get it removed because it's literally dead, that's considered an abortion, and then the doctors are saying, oh, you can't do that, and it just harms women, right? And I just believe in the right to choose. But at the end of the day, I do think you should do your best to avoid, having to make that decision in the first place.